Hey guys, Wakatata here. I'm going to show you guys my first ever, well, not first ever, um, one of my first ever videos for Path of Exile, my third video, so I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible. I just want to show off my sweep build that I've made for 2.5 Path of Exile Breach. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So first I'm going to talk about the tooltips. So sweep has a base DPS of 1400. My Vol Cyclone has a base DPS or average damage of 7.1k. I'm using Leap Slam for movement, 4.5 DPS. I use Arctic Armor for some extra physical damage reduction, as well as slowing enemies, and I take less fire damage. I got Immortal Call cast damage taken set up, and I run Herald of Ash. So with Herald of Ash activated, my sweep's DPS goes to 1700 or 17,000, sorry, and Fall Cyclone gets an average damage of 8.2k. So after that, let's talk about these defenses. So I've got pretty much max resist and merciless. I think I'm lacking a little on the lightning side. So yeah, in merciless I've got 65 lightning resist and 69 cold resist. That could be fixed with a couple of better pieces of gear. I was running a topaz or a sapphire flask just to boost that up a little bit, and I switched to a basalt flask for the crazy physical damage mitigation. So I've also got a Lion's Roar granite flask, which gives me a ton of armor and really good physical damage reduction. Running a sulfur flask for extra damage. It's got some elemental resistances on it, so that tops me out pretty much right now. One life flask and a mana flask. I don't really use the life flask very much because of my leech setup, and the mana flask I'm trying to find a way to get some mana leech on something so that I don't really need it, but I'm using it sparingly at the moment. Well, not the mana flask isn't that sparingly because I have no mana leech, but the life flask I use incredibly sparingly. So, um, so I've got on the skill tree I've got Iron Reflexes, which goes great with my gear setup, which I'll go over in a second. But let's talk about the skill tree first. So it's pretty straightforward. I went pretty typical two-handed Slayer. So you get these physical damage nodes down to Master of the Arena, over to Bravery, and over to Art of the Gladiator. Straight down to Destroyer. Come over here and get Golem's Blood, and then I grabbed this jewel socket because I had a pretty decent sword jewel. It's not incredible, but if you do this, come from down here, because this dexterity is really important. Early on, the build really lacks dexterity. As you can see, I picked up quite a bit of stuff. It really suffers in intelligence, and dexterity is kind of hard to come by too. So later on, I went over here to get the frenzy charges. This is kind of later on once you're ready to start generating frenzy charges. So not really until like late merciless. It's not even necessary. Iron reflexes I picked up after well into maps after I equipped my Cherubim's Maleficence. Get these two-handed nodes. Grab this life leech. This is super important over here. And I initially went this way to get this bloodless and to come up here to get these, but I got out of that and came up here to get these extra dexterity and intelligence nodes, and then just came straight over. You could get an unwavering stance if you don't ever want to be stunned, but with our ascendancy, brutal fervor, you can't be stunned while leeching, and since you're going to be leeching 100% of the time, basically, you'll never be stunned, and you're immune to bleeding, so you don't really need staunching on anything, which I for some reason have on my mana flask. I gotta fix that. So yeah, these are our ascendancies anyways. So once I get Uber lab done, I'm gonna go up here and get Headsman, just for some safety against physical reflect. We don't really suffer from physical reflect right now. If a map mod, like the entire map, has phys reflect on it, it's pretty dangerous, and I kind of try to stay away from it. But once I get my Uber lab done, I should be okay. Oh, and this one here is incredibly important because of the 100% increased life leech per second. That, in conjunction with our Cherubim's Malice, gives us almost. So right now I have almost quadruple um, life leech rate per second, which is crazy. My life goes up so fast; it makes you incredibly tanky. So yeah, you want to come over here and get these two sword nodes. Grab Juggernaut. Make sure you grab Lust for Carnage and Bloodlust on your way up. I went through the resistance area because early on before I got my gear, I was really suffering for resistance. I could probably take this out and go through this armor area here, or even up this way and save a couple of points. Anyways, your objective is Warrior's Blood and Heart of the Warrior up here to Born to Fight Butchery. Want to get by the blade. I got some more dexterity and intelligence nodes over here. Got another jewel here. It's not bad. It could be better. I wish there was a life roll on it rather than that cold skills. And then I came over here to get the Scion life square and Path of the Warrior. So that's pretty much the entire skill tree. And so we'll take a look at gear. So right now I'm running Kondo's Pride, which is a really good sword. I don't have an incredible amount of critical strike chance, so that's not really what we're looking at doing here. It's just really high base damage, and you get that bonus of extra 50% damage against bleeding enemies, which is really good, and it gives you a really good amount of life leech. Since my build is based around leeching life, I stayed away from critical strike chance because you cannot leech life from critical strikes, which really sucks. Other than that, most of my gear, aside from the boots and the chest piece, is just high life, good resistance, rares, pretty much across the board. Yeah, I see 94 life there. These have a decent amount, 10% movement speed, really good resistances, and high life. An okay life roll here. I'll probably find a way to replace this. It's just got really good resistances on it. And then this amulet I'll definitely replace at some point. It's got a pretty mediocre life roll on it, bad cold resist, and a little bit of fire resist that I had to craft on it. So yeah, I'll definitely replace this. A helmet here, again, life and resistances. The two really important factors are the chest piece, like I've already gone over. We don't really do any chaos damage, but this chest piece has really good life, and the life leech per second is incredible. Normally, that amount of life leech only comes from the Slayer Ascendancy, and that's the only other place I can find to get it. So this makes you really tanky. In conjunction with when you have Iron Reflexes, this node here, which converts all of your evasion into armor, this chest piece alone gives me almost 3 times as much armor, or not 3 times, twice as much extra armor as the rest of my gear combined, which is crazy. Also, these Worm Sign gauntlets are armor and evasion rating, which is another bonus for our armor. Gives us really good damage reduction. Worm Signs, these are really fun, and I didn't think that they were going to work out as well as they have, but with the Breach League, Rampage is really good, I've found out, because you can just detonate an entire Breach League, or an entire breach of corpses and wipe out the entire breach. And I hope I get to show that to you. Sometimes these breaches, for some reason, they just instantly kill me. And I really hope that doesn't happen during the video, but we'll see. So yeah, other than that, that's all of my gear. Lion's Roar, like I talked about. Yeah, so here's the map we're going to be doing. It's a peer map, tier 8. Nothing crazy, no reflect. Yeah, so let's do it. And while we're going over it, I'll try to bring this up. If I forget, you have to forgive me. And I'll show you like our improved tooltips. I think I forgot to mention Blood Rage. This is how I generate my frenzy charges, and my Leap Slam has Fortify and endurance charges on melee stun. Running Fall Cyclone with faster attacks, melee fizz damage, and life leech. Oh, here's my Arctic Armor and Herald of Ash. I gotta find something to do with these other links. This is my sweep setup with multi-strike, melee physical damage, faster attacks, and increased area of effect. Blood Rage doesn't, it's just stuck up here because it's the only green I had. But Immortal Call with cast when damage taken and increased duration. So, here we go. Yeah, I just used Leaf Slam to move. I basically never left click.
Didn't even break a sweat.
And in just a second, we'll look at tooltip damages. So sweep is at 26k right now, and that's without my flask. So 36k with all my flasks active. And Ball Cyclone has 10k average damage at this point, which is pretty nuts considering it hits more than 5 times a second. 6 times a second, actually. So yeah, it's got pretty good clear speed. It doesn't really care about a single rare mob having Fizz Reflect. Like I said, the only thing that kills it is Fizz Reflect on the entire map, which is pretty bad for any physical build, really. So I'm not too surprised. Doesn't have any trouble really clearing much at all. 6 socket. And yeah, so I really like the way that this build functions. I've been playing Path of Exile for 6 leagues and never gotten this far. The furthest I got was 2 leagues ago. I got to like 3 or 4 maps. I was playing an Oros Flicker Strike build. I'm really starting to get into like the end game of this game, and I'm really enjoying it. This build, I did not expect to play sweep at all. I was starting the league initially gonna play Lacerate, and something about the way that Lacerate interacts with multi-strike, and it causes you to turn and rotate in strange ways, just targeting the nearest enemy, random. I really didn't like the way Lacerate was performing, and I was trying to find something to replace it, and my friend suggested, kind of jokingly, to do a sweep build, and so I took my Lacerate build, and just plugged in sweep, and it turned out to work incredibly well. And yeah, so like he was completely jokingly, he was like, yeah, no one uses sleep, you should just do that, and sweep rather. And so I did, and he was like, wow, I can't believe you made a sweep build that works. And so yeah, here we are, and it's performing pretty well. I can do tier 9 maps safely. I haven't really gone any higher than that because I can't get any to drop any tier 10s, so that's where I'm stuck right now. Hopefully I can remedy that soon. Alright, so I hate this guy. If I run out of flask during this, I'll probably die. Yeah, so I mean the single target isn't incredible, and once I get a 6 link somewhere and reorganize my gems on my Condo's Pride, because I just got an upgraded Condo's Pride, and I was running Blasphemy with Punishment, and now I'm running Arctic Armor and Herald of Ash. Seems to be working pretty well. Punishment was really nice. It gave me a lot of attack speed. I had better movement with Leap Slam, but I think overall Herald of Ash and Arctic Armor is going to work a lot better. But once I get 6 socket and stuff, I'll figure out a really good single target ability. I'm thinking maybe Frenzy or not Dominating Blow, Infernal Blow. Just to some really good. I went backwards here. Wait. Oh no, here he is. So let's see Ball Cyclone and just murder him. Yeah, so Ball Cyclone does an insane amount of damage. That was the Culling Strike, so you didn't really get to see the full effect of Ball Cyclone. Really only, I really only use it for like breaches and stuff where I can pull enemies out of the edge of the breach, which I feel should get patched, because you're literally able to pull every enemy as soon as they touch the side of the breach straight to the center and just murder them. And you can make your breaches incredibly large with Fall Cyclone. Um, I will probably upload a short video on what you can do with Fall Cyclone in a breach. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Subscribe if you liked the video. If not, then thanks for watching anyways. Leave a comment below, and thanks guys.